Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. I want to remind you to do a little bit of digging into the philosophy of Stoicism. Now, we've talked about Stoicism in the past. You can learn a lot from studying Stoicism. Reading quotes and reading into the works of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, Musonius Rufus, you name it. So a lot of these principles by these philosophers, a lot of what they wrote can be an incredible asset, an incredible benefit to you on your journey here through the underworld. So again, we've talked about Stoicism in the past. We've talked about how we can use Stoicism, some of the principles, to gauge how we react to external situations in our life. Stoicism largely preaches to focus on what you can control in life and to not worry so much about things that are outside of your control, of which there are many. So again, I just want to remind you of that, you guys. Stoicism, Gnosticism, and a handful of other philosophies and things of that nature have influenced me largely, and I've put together kind of a system that incorporates a lot of those systems. It kind of meshes them with my own. So, my protocol is really simple. I have a protocol that I follow. I call it my protocol because it's just what I do. And I teach about that here on this channel to the best of my ability. But my protocol largely favors purity. Purity. And what is purity? Purity, ladies and gentlemen, are things that are wholesome, things that have not been tampered with and changed excessively. Now, a lot more can be said about this, but I want to try to keep things simple. I'm talking right now, let's just talk about purity in relation to diet, and let's talk about the 70-30 split. So the 70-30 split is something that I came up with a while ago that allows anyone, regardless of where they are in life, to, they can easily jump into this diet. The 70-30 split is a diet system. It's part of my health protocol. And I wanted to devise something that was really basic and really simple for anyone and everyone, because I know not everyone in the world right now is going to be able to jump on some really restrictive diet and practice extreme moderation and temperance, you name it. So what this system does is it allows you to eat 30% of your dietary intake, calories. You get to eat whatever the hell you want. And the 70%, 70-30 split, 70% of your dietary intake needs to come from whole foods. Foods that are not packaged and processed and filled full of synthetics and fortified with metals and irons and titanium dioxides, etc. So the 70-30 split is really easy. Anyone can do this because it allows you to keep the training wheels on. The training wheels in this situation are the 30%. You get to eat whatever you want, 30%. That's a pretty big number. So you can even go to a 60-40 split, but I really suggest the 70-30 split. This will teach you discipline. It'll teach you temperance. It'll teach you to master gluttony. It'll teach you a lot of things if you're able to stay on this, and anyone can do it. Oftentimes, people can't stay on a particular dietary system, folks, because there's too much restriction all at once, and it throws their gut microbiome all out of alignment. So, you end up getting all these cravings for your old foods. Well, the 30% of the diet that you get to eat, the 30% of your intake where you get to eat whatever you want, this allows you to satiate those parts of your body and your mind that are still addicted to the junk food, and most people are. So as you go through the system, you can move it up to 75-25, 80-20, 90-10, and then it gets to a point where you're pretty much 100% of your food that you're eating comes from whole food sources, pure sources. I want you to try to start your own garden. I want you to source your food. I want you to eat pure things, ladies and gentlemen, things that with real vitamins and minerals and enzymes in it. A mixture of cooked and raw food. That's how I do it. Sometimes I'll eat a lot of raw food throughout the day, and then I'll eat just a little bit of cooked food, and then sometimes I'll do a 50-50 split, you name it, so on and so forth. This has to be personalized. There has to be some context here. It's all about context. Where are you in life? What this will allow you to do is it'll allow you to train your body to get used to eating real foods. Most people do not like eating the majority of their calories from real food sources, whole food sources, ladies and gentlemen. They just don't. This will teach you to be more agrarian. It'll teach you to harbor temperance. It will teach you moderation, and it will teach you the value of eating to live and not living to eat, which many people do here in this matrix. Many people live to eat. They don't eat to live. When you eat to live, which is such a famous philosophical quote, I can't remember, was it Socrates that said that? You need to live or eat to live and not live to eat. But when you eat to live, you intentionally use your attention and intention to seek out foods that bring you more health, bring you more life force. When you live to eat, you pretty much are on a seafood diet, and I'm not talking about SEA food, like from the ocean. I'm talking about SEE, a seafood diet. If you see it and it smells good, you eat it. Most people are driven by their impulses that have been highly rewired by culture. Culture teaches you to venerate and love, not practicing moderation, not practicing temperance, not practicing willpower and self-control. This matrix teaches you, ladies and gentlemen, that it's okay to harbor traits that destroy you rapidly. It's okay. It's all about acceptance. There's no need for that. There's no need to worry about your health because there's a pill for this problem and a pill and a treatment for that problem that comes with a million different side effects, of which there are more pills to mask the side effects. And so the wheel turns. And so the wheel turns. When you live to eat, you don't eat to live. And when you eat to live, I think you catch my drift, folks. So 70-30 split. I want to see you move to 80-20, 90-10 until you get to the point where you're pretty much on a whole foods, just everything's real type of diet. No more of the synthetics. No more of the foods that come in the estrogen, the hormone disrupting. Jesus Christ, excuse me. No more garbage foods. No more processed garbage. No more foods fortified with iron and synthetics. No more foods packaged in estrogen mimickers and hormone displacers. No more garbage water filled full of fluoride, hexafluorosilicic acid, hydrofluorosilicic acid, pipe residues, chlorine, chloramine compounds, disinfectant byproducts, algicides, cobalts, you name it. Pharmaceuticals. No more crap. No more crap. That's what this system is all about. And through addressing the quality of air you breathe, the water you drink, and the food you eat, you will start to stimulate what the Stoics referred to as Arete, which essentially is living with virtue. It's living in a way that aligns you with Eudaimonia, which is your highest potential, which in my opinion translates to the higher self. So living with Arete, by actually practicing temperance, moderation, and morals, allows you to get closer to Eudaimonia. We need to hone our attention. We need to sharpen the spear of our attention so that we don't get distracted by living in the present moment with all its temptations and all its machinations, you name it. We need to practice the honing of our minds so that we can stimulate and hone our self-control. Now, I'm not telling you to starve yourself in any sense of the word. I'm telling you to actually indulge in things that make you live while still harboring reverence and appreciation for the foods that you eat, because every food, whether it's an animal food or a plant food, that is a life lost so that you can eat, so that you can sustain your health. And if you take a life from something to just enjoy the pleasure of eating and all the gourmet bullshit, then you're not really appreciating it for all it's worth. We need to learn to eat to live and not be obsessed with decadence and all the gourmet bullshit that has a million different ingredients in it. And it's just a pig pen that we live in. There's so much obesity here, and heart disease and cancers and mental disorders and you name it. My God, heart surgery, bypass, and all the heart disease, it's a multi-billion-dollar a year industry, and so is the cancer industry. So folks, obviously we're doing something wrong here. It's pretty obvious we are doing something wrong here. So harboring a little bit of intelligence and a little bit of compassion for your consumption is going to get you a lot out of life. You live in a physical vehicle, a flesh body that contains a spirit. You might want to nourish it. And once you start nourishing this body, once you start getting all the processed bullshit out of your diet, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more confidence. You're going to look in the mirror and start liking the reflection. If you don't like your reflection in the mirror, there's some serious issues going on. Your body is designed to make your mind feel incredible when it is given what it needs. Your body requires amino acids, essential nutrients, minerals, vitamins, enzymes, cofactors, amino acids. Get with the program, folks. Your body wants to be out underneath the sun, around the trees, in the natural environment, but the New World Order has you afraid of being outside with your shoes off. I might get a parasite and, you know, everything's gross and I just need to stay in my house and be sterile, this, that, and the other. Get with the program, ladies and gentlemen. Go swim in natural bodies of water. Reset your internal environmental ancestral mechanisms. Start blocking the blue light. Start following my health protocol. I put that video together about maybe a week ago. It's got like 70 views. What a shame. Where I talk about the very, very most basic platform of my health protocol. What a shame. But it is what it is. So, again, you guys, when you start eating real food, you start to feel better. Imagine that. Your organic, real body requires organic, real nutrition. It wants real, pure water. It wants clean air. It doesn't want air that's filled full of fucking waste. Brake dust, aluminum, barium, strontium, mylar fibers, and chaff and metal isotopes. Your body wants to be able to breathe. But right now our breath is stifled because of the shit that we breathe and the air that the shit that we breathe and the food that we eat, you name it. So again, you guys, I don't want to make this too long. I would highly suggest on your journey, considering the crazy world that we live in, this is indeed the underworld. The Kundalini told me that, showed me that during my first experience. We're in a purgatory of sorts. Because we live in this crazy world, you're going to need some materials to help you along the way. And I highly suggest looking into Stoicism. There's a book called The Little Book of Stoicism. I would highly suggest listening to the audiobook. I would not suggest reading it. Audiobook and the narrator. It's very enjoyable. It's a quick, easy listen. I like to go on walks and ground myself while I listen to books like that. I would also highly suggest looking into some of John Kreider's work on alchemy so that you can learn to do something with all the negative energy around you in this world. So, basics, guys. Real, simple basics that produce real world drastic results if you adhere to them. If you start to practice these things instead of just knowing the path, if you start walking the path, doors will open up for you and your life will change drastically, all for the better. Imagine that. We're not supposed to be crippled here, folks. We need our health back, though. We need our health. Health is not about restriction. Moderation is important, but moderation is not about restriction. Moderation is about giving your body what it needs and being able to have the willpower to say no when the desire to continue consuming and destroying yourself comes up. So, Stoicism, mindful eating, all of this stuff that I talk about, it's not about restriction, it's about learning moderation. Moderation is not restriction. Moderation is just, we're not designed to take more than what we need unless we need it. And there are times when we do need it. But right now, the average American consumes over 3,500 calories a day. They don't exercise. They eat most of those calories from garbage foods. I mean, come on, get with the program here. Stoicism, practicing mindful eating, eating real foods, doing the 70-30 split has nothing to do with, restriction. It has everything to do with coming alive. It's all about indulgence. But indulgence requires a little bit of moderation because you've got to retrain yourself to consume only what you need, the things that your body wants. That's not restriction. Becoming alive again after walking around in the land of the dead as a zombie, that is not, ladies and gentlemen. Coming alive again and eating real foods and drinking pure water and having some moderation and some temperance, that is not restriction. Coming alive, being your best version of yourself, is not depraving yourself of anything. When are you going to get that? Diet systems are. But I don't consider my system a diet system. It's a way of life. It's a platform for growth. And once you learn to train your body to only take what it wants instead of what you think it wants, all the processed bullshit, you're going to start to get used to liking real foods, and everything's going to fall into place for you. You're not going to have all the unnecessary cravings and all the hangryism and all the bullshit. Excuse me. I think you catch my drift. So Stoicism is a very important piece of my system. At least I use a lot of Stoic terms. I use a lot of Gnostic terms as well. Just read the little book of Stoicism, listen to it on audiobook, go on a walk, get some sun on your skin, clean your skin with the Dr. Kassar skin cleaning solution, and start taking your life back, you guys. Time moves really quickly when you're not present in the present moment. And a lot of you guys aren't, because you're constantly in the state of appeasing appetites, programmed appetites that the culture that you live in has programmed into your subconscious mind. You've got to clean yourself out, clean your mind out, so that you can actually live in the present moment and not be a slave to addictions. Time will slow down by default, and you'll be able to get more out of life. You'll be able to live your life, ladies and gentlemen. I love you all. May peace be with you. I wanted to personally thank you for watching my videos and contributing to the growth of my channel. I could not do this without you, and your interest in my content is truly what motivates me and fuels my passion for making these videos and spreading my message. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to remind you that this channel is a free educational tool that is listener supported, and if you would like to donate to my channel and donate to my cause, help make my life a little bit easier and help keep the lights on around here, you can do so by checking out the links in the description box below. There's a handful of not only ways to donate to my channel, but I also have links to different websites and different videos of mine, as well as my Amazon store, where you can check out a plethora of different health-related products that I use and recommend. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your continued interest in my message, and until next time, peace be with you all.